Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. I need you guys to smash that like button. Today we continue the BusyWorks Beats podcast right here at BusyWorksBeats.com, and I have a serious question for you guys. Do you think FL Studio will survive the agentic era? If you guys haven't seen a user, let me switch screens. A user on Ableton figured out how to use Claude to operate his Ableton. Now, for those who don't know, Sound Oracle, who produced sounds for Timbaland, who's, his sounds have been found on Drake records, Timbaland records, all the top Beyonce records. Shout out to Sound Oracle. He's been using AI in Ableton for years now. He used to talk to his computer and the computer would do stuff on his behalf. So it was very foreign to me at the time, the concept of AI. But he was doing this way back, in like 2019, 2018. So the fact that this is just now becoming a thing mainstream wise is interesting. So here we have Claude operating in Ableton. This user, I am Natan, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, basically is instructing the AI chatbot, which is what's called agentic work. So he's on co-work mode. So this is agentic AI, meaning that it can do stuff on your behalf. So in this video, it looks like the AI is like taking control of his computer, which is a new feature of Claude Code. I told you guys, you got to be up on this stuff. The Claude is literally dropping every single day. Anthropic drops a new update every single day. Literally, they're dropping so many updates. And if you're not up on it now, you're going to be too far behind. Like I said, I'm not telling people to use this to make beats for you, but imagine all the things that are menial tasks that you hate to do in your DAW that you can tell a potential Claude to actually do on your behalf. Like, for example, cut out all the silences in my vocal takes, like something that an assistant in a studio would be doing. Stuff that just takes laborious time. And I'm sure there's ways to fine tune it to understand automation, levels, harmonics, all types of stuff. This is just the beginning where they're just clicking in notes. But there is a formula to making beats. Now, again, I think people are getting threatened by AI for the false reasons, okay? Because AI music, it literally doesn't threaten us as music creators. The joy of creating music is what we chase. It's the creation process. People putting in a prompt, they're not going to have that same, some people do, because they have an intent, they type in their prompt, they get out something that's super rewarding. But that's the fun for them. But the fun for you might be to actually open up FL Studio, load up a project, load up Ableton, load up Claude, whatever, and assist you in your process. So that's what I think people misconstrued and took the words out of that CEO of Suno's mouth. I think they really didn't even hear what the guy was saying. And they took his words way out of context. And he said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, the Suno CEO said, like, people don't enjoy making music. And he was saying it in context of because they don't know all the steps. So they get frustrated and they want to make music, but they get frustrated and there's no help. So that's what Suno is there to do. I'm not here to back Suno. I'm just saying people took the words way out of context. So my question for today is, do you guys think FL Studio will survive this agentic era? Because we see you can use Claude right on your computer now without, I don't know how it talks to Ableton, whether it has APIs or whether some MCP server. I don't understand the backend yet. I didn't really go too deep into it. But, imagine, for example, if you guys remember, FL Studio has FL Studio Web. What if they introduced some agentic portion in here where it says, okay, arrange this, like you make an 8-bar idea and then you say, arrange my beat to, be a Drake arrangement, or arrange it to be for Timbaland or whoever. Okay, so it does all the menial work for you. Okay, copy here, duplicate. It does all the stuff for you. Now, again, the fun of music is making the music. That will never go away no matter what technology comes out. It doesn't matter. People want to make the music. That is a human desire. Now, until our human brains are swapped out for robot brains, that will always be a human desire to express your inner talents. Okay, that's never going to go away. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much technology is there. It's just helping us do whatever we want to do and experience that. So the point is, the only new thing I've seen in FL Studio is the FL Studio Web emphasizer limiter. I don't remember that being there before. Maybe it was, I don't remember that being there before, but it's like, what have they done to really step into the modern era? And I'm saying this as a person who literally made 26 plugins in the last month. I took all my plugin ideas I had before. Like, let me show you guys one plugin I'm working on right now. So for example, some of you know about the first plugin I had called Blackbox. And because I was limited in terms of the components I could use in the system I was using called Highs, it just left me a little bit limited when it came to customizing the plugin the way I wanted to. So now I just went back to Juice. I said, instead of using all these other frameworks on top of frameworks, I'm going to go straight to Juice. So long story short, I redid Blackbox. So just listen to this on drums, for example. So right now we have it on the compressor. So I turn it off. Here's the drums by AJ Hall. Shout out to AJ Hall. Go grab his drum kits because he gives you guys multi-tracks. These are great for practicing and mixing. So we can turn it on. Gives you that hip hop grit automatically. That's just with the compressor, the saturation. Put it on the transistor mode and the EQ. Now wait till we hit random. I'm basically creating a system where you guys, there's so many presets I created for you guys that I just said there's too many for you guys to go through. So you could basically hit random. So when you hit random, it will load up the presets for you guys. Now we're getting all these drum tones. Now we can go into really unique styles, okay? I can also so here's before. Now you get that hip hop grit. So if you hit random, it will pull from, I think I have like over 500 presets. I have to recount. There's so many presets in here. So again, here's before. You can even pull back the mix level. So if I crunched it too much, you could pull back that mix level or just hit random again. And now your drums have a texture. This is what the initial Blackbox. Let me see if I can find a picture of the initial Blackbox. All right, so the files aren't on this computer. So I remember making this one thumbnail. I don't know if you guys could even see this. Let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger. It just made it smaller. All right, but it was basically a very simple crunch box. You put stuff in. It worked on drums, it worked on bass. It was just a mysterious little tone box. So now I've expanded this to where you guys can actually hear the difference just by turning it on. And my point is, if myself as somebody who's not having a staff of 100 people and 50 engineers here and there can do stuff like this, then what is holding FL Studio up from making dope stuff? I just can't comprehend it. And I don't want to sound like I'm coming off unappreciative of FL Studio. I'm just concerned about the innovation, especially when companies like Anthropic are shipping every single day an update. Guys, when you study Claude Code, it will just break your brain. Like you can literally have AI make a whole dashboard for you that would cost you tens of thousands of dollars to get your data to flow through your dashboard built for your business. You could literally have it build a one-button solution to answer all of your customer service emails. Yes, it's real. I mean, there's a billion real solutions for your real business that you can create with Claude. And even Meek Mill got into Claude Code. Shout out to Meek Mill. And I guess my point is, with FL Studio, where is it headed? Like, I just saw a video talking about freebies in FL Studio from something HTK. And then he mentioned how, I think it was FL Cloud. Let me look up FL Cloud. He mentioned, I just happened to hear it. He said FL Cloud is about $150 a year, I think. Let me double check the prices here. All right, so here's the pricing for FL Cloud. This is like the latest innovation from FL Studio, because we always complained how FL Studio had very lackluster stock sounds. And now, yeah, some genres you can get away with the stock sounds, but in hip hop, it wasn't Logic Pro. People were comparing FL Studio to Logic Pro stock sounds. Very different. When people said use your stock plugins, they weren't talking about FL Studio. Okay, that was a running joke. Now, if you go to the yearly, it says it bills you $150 for the year, $89 for the year for the Plus plan, but for the Pro plan, $150 for the year. Okay, $89 for the year is not bad. $7 a month is not bad, but still, you guys got to think, renting plugins, you're never going to own the plugins. So you're really just paying to demo plugins. I just never understood this concept. And I'm a plugin developer, guys. If you ever see me charge monthly for a plugin, understand, I can't even speak because it's such a foreign thing. Let me slow my speech down. If you ever see me as a business owner have a software that's a plugin or something like a plugin that I'm selling and charging monthly fees for, understand I'm about to sell the company. Because the reason companies do this is because they're trying to raise their ARR, their annual recurring revenue. And consistent recurring revenue is considered safe by investors. So instead of just selling one-offs and making 12 million in a year, FL Studio might have recurring revenue of 2 million a year, 5 million a year, but it's worth more to investors even though it's less because it's recurring, meaning people need it to, do what they're trying to do. So it produces cash flow. Whereas one-offs, you have to be innovative. And I think that pressure of being innovative kind of got lost with this ability to just update stuff over time. Remember when Kanye updated his Wolf song and when GTA updated their servers and all types of stuff? Think about the good old days of GTA San Andreas. There was no updates. When it came out, however you got it is how you got it. It either worked or it didn't work. And it was the most legendary game of all time. That's because they had to make sure everything was right before they put it out. They didn't rely on updates and keeping people around for years and years and years until they got the money to do what they were actually trying to do. So I think some of this is just the lack of pressure from the market and people just accepting monthly charges. I canceled my Waves. Yeah, Waves was cool because I thought I needed Waves NS1. Then I'm like, why do I need NS1 when I have Pro G? What did I need NS1 for? It just made my voice sound weird anyway. And then I thought to myself, unless I'm specifically teaching Waves, vocal chains, what do I need Waves monthly for? The cool thing about Roland, here's what I do respect about Rolling Cloud. Rolling Cloud, the difference between all these subscriptions and Rolling Cloud is Rolling Cloud, when you pay for a year, they credit you. And I think every year or so, or I think it's a year, if you have 12 months of being on Rolling Cloud, you can actually claim a plugin or two. I forget the new plans, but it used to be like that, at least, where you can claim a plugin by the end of your 1 year subscription. And the reason that's important is because it's are we paying forever basically for a demo version of the plugins, or are we basically just paying over time for the plugin? So that's what I can respect more. Companies who offer you ownership at the end of paying for it. It's lease to own versus just leasing to lease forever until eternity. And again, when FL Studio did this subscription thing, it's I get it. You can treat it almost like Spotify, where you have people pay into a pool, you pay all your partners, so you don't have to pay your partners up front. So now they partnered up with all these other audio companies. That's cool and everything. But as a user, the question is, when is this ever going to not be a monthly subscription? I don't know. Just tell me what you guys think about subscription type plugins and services like that. But my question to you guys is, do you guys think that FL is being innovative? Do you think they will survive this Claude Code era? Let me see if I can find a post for you guys. So this here is Kswisher on Instagram, and basically he created his own DAW. Listen to how hard this thing sounds. What happens when Kswisher puts out his DAW and it sounds better than FL Studio? Because let's say on his master channel, you can switch out different tones. You can get a Neve tone and an API tone. You can get some custom tone that he creates. What happens when producers flock to this? Because it's built by a producer. It's the stuff that we actually want. That's the question that I have for any audio company is producers are now becoming the creators. There's no more bowing down to an audio company because they're just gatekeeping information or gatekeeping technology over us as if they're our rulers. That's not happening anymore. They've done us so dirty over the years. I have so many stories about the audio companies in our space, but I won't make this video about that. The point is, this is happening, okay? And I'm assuming he's using AI assisted help to help him arrange this code, because this code is very complex. Even the math behind just time syncing can get very convoluted. So the point is, producers now have the power to make their own stuff. So what is FL Studio going to do? Do you guys really think they're going to survive this agentic era? That's just the proof, y'all. I showed you guys an AI that can control Ableton. I showed you guys a man building his own DAW. What makes FL Studio relevant? And how are they being innovative? Those are my questions for you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Go to busyworksbeats.com/premium to learn how to make beats like the pros. Peace out, guys.